The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's take a look. Owning a home helps protect against inflation. You're probably feeling the impact of high inflation every day as prices have gone up on groceries, gas, and more. If you're a renter, you're likely experiencing it a lot as your rent continues to rise. Between all those elevated costs and uncertainty about a potential recession, you may be wondering if it still makes sense to buy a home today. The short answer is yes, it does. Here's why. Home ownership actually shields you from the rising costs inflation brings. Freddie Mac explains, quote, "Not only will buying today help you begin to build equity, a fixed rate mortgage can stabilize your monthly housing costs for the long term, even while other life expenses continue to rise, as has been the case the past few years," unquote. Unlike rents, which tend to rise with time, a fixed rate mortgage payment is predictable over the life of the mortgage, typically 15 to 30 years. And when the cost of most everything else is rising, keeping your housing payment stable is especially important. The alternative to homeownership is renting. And rents tend to move alongside inflation. That means as inflation goes up, your monthly rent payments tend to go up too. And I think we've got a chart on this one as well. Rent increases with inflation in most years. And you can see core info if you're watching us on ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed. You can see a blue line there where core inflation rate and a green line rent growth. And you can see they both tend to go up. Now, I'm going to suggest to you, for most part, when the inflation starts coming down, your rent, unless you move, is not going to come down with it. A fixed rate mortgage allows you to protect yourself from future rent hikes. With inflation still high, when your rental agreement comes up for renewal, your property manager may decide to increase your payments to offset the impact of inflation. Maybe that's why, according to a recent survey, 73% of property managers plan to raise rents over the next 2 years. Having your largest monthly expense remain stable in a time of economic uncertainty is a major perk of homeownership. If you continue to rent, you don't have that same benefit and aren't as protected from rising costs. Bottom line, a stable housing payment is especially important in times of high inflation. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, if you want to chat about options for you and your family. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by rsrmoney.com.